It's now my pleasure to introduce one of the legends in the history of crypto, David Chaum. I'd mentioned earlier he was one of the original cypherpunks. He created the concept and the word cryptocurrency. So, I mean, I know I'm called the godfather of crypto because CNBC thought I did a lot of shitcoins in 2018, and sort of like, well, yeah, also my work with Tether and Ethereum, but you know, if I'm the godfather of crypto, he's the father of crypto, right? I mean, there was no crypto. He did 90% of what was in Satoshi's white paper. What would that be? 27 years prior to the white paper. So just extreme visionary and continuing to go and be visionary in a lot of new markets. And I've been, working with David a little bit on some of his things he's doing in quantum and in sort of like new models for different kinds of blockchains. But he's also been working on this disruptive new technology that he presented about a year ago. And I guess he's made a lot of progress since on Dreamality. And then Charlie Cavalier is going to like sort of lead the discussion on that. Charlie and David.
Thank you very much, Michael. We'll throw these chairs together. Oh, Ash, we're going to play a video first.
The fundamental things apply. That is time fly.
Dreamality, be much. Let me show you how this works. This breakthrough eyeglass-lens technology, using embedded microprojectors, lets you see better both what's physically in front of you and in the digital world. Imagery information and electrical power are supplied externally, such as via the magnetic connection, audio earbud. Since everything is in the lenses rather than the frames are lightweight and affordable enough that you can have several styles for comfort all day. The projector's ultra-low power eye-safe light is collimated and reflected into fixed-width beams. Then these beams are steered dynamically by a scanner microchip so that light goes into the eye and nowhere else. The scanning mirror chips, seen only on edge, are essentially invisible, as are the holographic reflectors. Since both these elements are flat, it can be mass-produced at wafer scale. Compared to a smartphone, there's a similar number of parts to be wired together, but less wafer area from less expensive wafers. The honest lens naturally converts the scan angles entering the pupil into locations on the retina, the eye's photodetector array, which sends the image to the brain. With the planned initial single projector product, you can read more rapidly because you don't have to move your eyes. With multiple projectors, each will scan out its own image tile so that the tiles fit together to form a complete image. Modulating pure primary colors in high resolution yields exquisite quality images. While scanning, each projector also senses returned infrared light, allowing super precise 3D tracking of eye pupils. This means focus depth can be varied at the light source, so that images are sharp wherever your vision is converging. Precision tracking also allows early detection of eye disease and can deliver images to functioning parts of a damaged retina. The lenses, whether or not their prescription, can improve anyone's vision by enhancing focus and showing things that are hard to see unaided. But their true breakthrough is opening up the virtual world whenever and wherever you want. That means your virtual smartphone, like your other screens, will be even easier to use. So who needs a physical smartphone? And the super precise tracking also lets contextual AI render pixels locked to 3D to what's physically in front of you, wherever you look through the lens. Dreamality. Bring the digital into your physical world and see so much more.
All right, David, I have a lot I want to talk about, so let's pretend we're friends and bring our chairs to the middle. So that's an amazing video that, well, I want my glasses right now, but I don't think you have any for me. Can you explain in your own words, though, what Dreamality is to you?
It's a way to, Dreamality is a breakthrough new way to create imagery and project it straight into the eye pupil. And people have been working on it for 30 years in aerospace, and uh, Meta has said publicly they spent over $100 billion trying to figure out how to do it, and they don't know how to do it. Apple still can't do it, and uh, I figured out how to do it. I sort of, I guess, stumbled onto it, and it's essentially it's as much 100% digital as a digital computer is digital. It's a digital way to deal with light. It's different from all kinds of other visualization. It solves the key issues which the augmented reality world struggles with, so-called field of view. It has an unlimited field of view. Anywhere you can see through your eyeglass is included in your field of view. It has better than resolution than what you can normally see. It has better image quality than even the top few theaters around the world that have really fine quality imagery. It solves a couple other key issues real quick, just that have plagued augmented reality. One of them is that when you're wearing it, no light is visible to the person you're talking to, so they can see your eye clearly, and that's not that easy to achieve. We do achieve that, and the other thing is what's called lock on. If when you wear movie glasses today, everything moves with your head, but what you want is virtual objects to stay located, and to achieve that, you need very accurate eye tracking, and we have achieved that with Dreamality. So it really solves all the problems that have been identified, and everyone seems to acknowledge that it will be the new smartphone. And if you think about it, that's a multi-trillion-dollar per year business selling those phones. Plus, you're controlling the new platform. And if I've always been of the feeling that smartphones kind of dumb down the interface that we had earlier, which was the laptop and the web. And hopefully this will kick it a big step in the opposite direction and really enrich people's lives, and just be a great thing for humanity. And yeah.
I'm gonna steal this back from you for a second, because you have incredible milestones coming up, right? The medical advancements, obviously all the AR abilities that watching the sports games are going to make better. What are your next 3 public milestones that you're most focused on right now?
Well, we it surprisingly may sound, we have a minimum viable product that is simply a fiber optic with a 1 millimeter square chip at the end of it that can project images into your eye. And so if you DIY that, glue it onto your inside of your eyeglass lens or frame, you've got a kind of notification reality that is also full color and high resolution for, like, so you could read a whole page of text or something like that. So that's a milestone. We've also, that kind of technology can go in jewelry and in smartwatches and fitness, and that's never been proposed even. And so we're getting a lot of interest from the high-end providers of this sort of stuff. And I think with AI and everything, I mean, you'll want to be able to know what AI is trying to tell you, and maybe sometimes in depth. And this will allow it, but with full fashion and not in a conspicuous way. So that's that also dovetails into that. And yeah, we I don't want to get into our whole roadmap, but we're just it's an easy way in, but we're able to raise the bar at each step and stay ahead of everything else that's available. So ultimately, we can do the full field of view, right? There's no limit. Anywhere you can see through the lens, as it said in the video, we can provide imagery there, and it's better than what you normally see. And so when we integrate in with eyeglass lenses, that's that's going to be as good as it's going to get, and that'll be the sort of end game.
We're always worried about privacy concerns, right? We used to joke the phones were listening. Now we know the phones are listening. What privacy concerns that are out in the world with our data, especially talking about medical advancements, helping my eyes, things like that? Where does Dreamality come in to protect its users' data from going anywhere?
Well, there's a lot of data that you can capture with Dreamality, and some of it helps us like identify eye disease early, like glaucoma and things that's never been done before. So that's pretty sweet. But of course, the surveillance potential, intrusiveness is unprecedented. And let me just ask you this: I mean, who would you rather have issuing stuff like that? The people who brought you some of the Web 2 products that we're all familiar with, or someone who has, for the last 40 years, been pioneering, risk going to jail for protecting privacy in the information age? So that's part of the reason I'm doing it, is because if you can't trust me to try to do it in a good way, then, who can you trust?
So give me a little bit of, and feel free to explain it to me like I'm a toddler, because I have very little tech understanding on this stuff. Let's say I have glaucoma, but I haven't gone to the doctors, right? So they haven't diagnosed me. Is Dreamality going to notify me that there's something going on, or what does that process look like for notification?
Well, because of the FDA and all that stuff in the US, it's a little bit complicated, but basically we can't tell you that you're getting glaucoma. We can detect it much before you would even notice any, thing. And that's really important because glaucoma causes irreversible nerve damage. And so you want to detect it as soon as practical. And that could be basically stopped from advancing if you use these eye drops or whatever, a little bit of surgery. So, we detect it automatically by the change in shape of an eyeball. Glaucoma is for overpressure in the eyeball, and the eyeball is normally, say, football shaped, a little bit ovaloid. And when it gets a higher pressure, it turns a little more spheroid, a little more rounded. We can see that because of the super accurate eye tracking that we have. And so we would notify your doctor or some surrogate, and they could try to get treatment for you. But there's a whole other aspect of it, is that a lot of glaucoma treatments have stopped being developed by pharmaceutical companies and stuff because it's very, very expensive to do the required testing. And part of the reason it's expensive is because people have to come in to get these perimetry tests and all this stuff, frequently, and the patients don't like to do that, and it's very inaccurate and so forth. And so we could do it automatically, continuously, so much more effectively. So it can really help with the whole treatment discovery and validation process as well.
So in a perfect world, when will everyone in this room be able to buy Dreamality glasses? In a perfect world. Not.
I don't know. Taiwan Semiconductor has already this year started shipping a photonics layer on CMOS chips. And next year, all the Nvidia chips will have, I'm told, the big chips will have it. And it's an additional layer. All we're doing now, we found a way to use that layer to modulate the light. So they make 300 millimeter wafers. There's 75,000 chips in those 1 millimeter chips. And and so that, they only cost like $30,000 for a wafer. That's a 50-cent chip that puts out as high a quality image as this projector. And so it changes things. And so at scale, as scalable at scale as you can get. So, yeah, it could be available really soon. So it's kind of surprising. And I don't want to take full credit for this, although, you know, I do have a very strong IP position, but just talking to all kinds of people in the industry and, you know, it's been very beneficial to us. We figured out, you know, every time they say, "Oh, but you can't do this," we find out, "Oh, wow, there's an even better way to do it." And so now we've got this way that's just really exciting.
I was actually jokingly waiting for you to just tell me that Michael's actually wearing the prototypes right now, but I didn't know if that was going to be a little too early. So you know, obviously this is a lot of infrastructure, a lot of development, a lot of manufacturing is going to go into this. What is going to be your biggest bottleneck to get these on the heads of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 million people?
Well, it's generally believed in the industry that, you know, eyewear is totally monopolized by this one company, and now one of the major social media companies has done a kind of exclusive deal with them. And so distribution is thought to be the big bottleneck, and that's why the video shows you designing your own eyewear, because it can actually be done in a customized way and shipped to you without you actually having to visit, you know, an in-person fitting. So that would allow it to, that would solve that bottleneck and really allow it to scale. But you know, the MVP and related products can also scale very, effectively. And you know, there's like 150 million people wear contact lenses, and incredible as it may sound, our technology seems to be capable of solving that and giving them amazing capabilities. However, that we're still waiting for one more technology breakthrough. That's other people working on it. We're just waiting for these quantum dot lasers to. They work in the lab, but they're not in volume production yet. So once they are, we could even do that.
Okay, so this is my common question because like I said last time, we're in a room full of people that are problem solvers. In 30 seconds or less before, you know, that we get kicked off the stage, what is the one thing that you would love help with today? Don't say nothing.
Well, I got a few things. One would be helping me save Bitcoin from being destroyed by quantum computers. So we have the Q-proof technology, which is a way to do that without actually changing the Bitcoin software at all. A zero fork solution to making Bitcoin quantum proof. I have it's running right now on smartphones, and if you're interested in that, I think that's really important. And I'm personally focused on trying to find ways for synergistic governance with the help of AI, but controlled by people, because I think that's the biggest problem and opportunity facing us. And if you know anyone, if you're interested in that, I'd love to talk with you about that. I've got, you know, some ideas, and it's kind of a, you know, that's a big one. So that's what I really care about at the moment.
So thank you, everybody. Find David, help him with what he just asked for. Okay. And let's save Bitcoin. Thank you, everybody.